And they're like, and look at how funny the Jehovah's Witnesses is. This is what they ask you. Which pronunciation will you use? That doesn't make any sense. Which one will you use? Like God has 17 different names. That's a Muslim teaching. That's wrong. God has one name. God has, the Most High has one name. One. His name is not Adonai, Jehovah, Yahweh. That's not his name. He don't have no 15 different names. Which pronunciation will you use? Oh man. It says here, where do the pronunciations like Yahweh come from? These are Yahweh. Excuse me. Let me get right to it. Some, though not all, feel that the Israelites before the time of, or what they call Jesus, his name is Yeshua, probably pronounced the Most High's name Yahweh. Probably. Meaning that they can't even tell you if it's true or not. So if you can't prove it, why even tell me that? It doesn't make any sense. Yet, they can prove that I'm not a child of Israel. They can prove that. No, they can't. Everything they're talking about, they got proof of, except for the name of the Most High, right? That don't make no sense. Let's see what else they say. But no one can be sure. Perhaps they pronounced it that way, perhaps not. I should just throw this away right now, right in the trash. Because that's what it is. Trash. How can you tell me you don't know how to pronounce the Most High's name, but no one can be sure? Perhaps. Perhaps they pronounce it that way, perhaps not. Now, does that make any sense to you? How are you going to answer somebody if they don't know how to pronounce your name? If your name is Kevin and they're calling you Levin, or Devin, or Levin, what are you going to do to them? You're going to look at them like they're crazy. And who are you talking to? You're talking to me. Do you think the Most High is doing that to them? Especially if you hear this word. Because he only breaks in a time of ignorance. And if you read if you read Exodus, and it says my name is I am that I am, and you continue to read on and say, well, I'm going to just call him Jehovah, because I don't like saying I am that I am. If you learn it in Hebrew, it might sound a bit better. His name is Ahaya Ashar Ahaya. That's what it means. I am that I am. Haya. That's in Hebrew, not Hava. There is no H-A-W-A-H in Hebrew. But for the Jehovah's Witnesses, perhaps not. Perhaps they pronounced it that way, perhaps not. Let's guess now. Let's take a good old guess at the Most High's name and decide what to call him. What do you think? Well, I like Jehovah. Well, what do you think? Well, I like Yahweh. Well, what do you think? I think we should drop all that and call him Jehovah. Well, I like that then. Let's keep it. Write that in everything. Why in the King James Version it don't say Jehovah throughout the whole Bible? Because they changed it. That's why. That's why in Genesis it says Jehovah Jireh, and in Exodus it says they didn't know me by that name. That's why. They changed it. The same way in my Bible it says Easter was the day they held Paul until. We all know that Paul was not held until Easter. Easter is a Greek holiday. Bunnies don't lay eggs. They did it on purpose. They did it on purpose. The same people that told you Queen Sheba had a child from King Solomon. Same people. Nevertheless, it says, many prefer the pronunciation of Jehovah, not me. Why? Because it has a currency and a familiarity that Yahweh does not have. But wait a second. Wait a second. I thought Yahweh meant Jehovah. I thought that's what it meant. So wait a second now. Wait a second. Jehovah has a currency that Yahweh doesn't have. Why is that? If they both mean the same thing, why does it have such a different feeling? Why? Now that don't make no sense to me. So what you're telling me is that my name is Jason, but some people would rather call me J. And J don't have the same currency, doesn't have the same currency as Jason. It doesn't have the same. Why is that? It means the same thing. I'm going to answer you if you call me either one, right? J or J, that's my name. So why does it matter? They just want to change it to give you the evil name. Jah means any God, anyone. Of course you can praise Jah. You can praise any God. Is it the right God? No. Not according to the Bible. However means evil. Let me get that too. Let me get that too. Jehovah. This is what Jehovah means. You know Jehovah? Jay-Z, you know Jehovah, right? Let me tell you what Jehovah means in Hebrew. Because this is what we translated the Bible from. The Old Testament was translated from Hebrew. So let's find out what Jehovah means. Jehovah. Rushing. Ruin. Calamity. Mischief. Naughty. Profane thing. Very wickedness. That's what Jehovah means. So you want to now talk about Jehovah. Jehovah. The God of evil. The God of mischief, ruin, calamity, very wickedness, naughty, profane thing. Jehovah. Yeah, right. I won't be calling him that. No way. Sorry. You're not going to have me praying to the devil like he said you would. He's going to make himself, he's going to exalt himself above the Most High. And he is doing it. He won't succeed at the end, but you are all helping him by calling this guy's name and whatever name you call him. He don't care what name you call him, as long as you say you're going to follow his rules. Not keep the law of the Most High, not keep the Sabbath, rob, steal, kill, go to church on Sunday, preach everybody the same thing and tell them that this is the way. Everybody claiming to be the remnant church. When church is a people, it is not a place. The remnant church is a people. They don't say we're going to go down to some church and pick that church up and take all the people out of that church. The church is the people. The Most High does not dwell in man-made things. Sorry. He says, I am there in the midst when two or three gather in my name. How can you gather in his name if you don't know it? That's like trying to get into my party and you don't know my name, and you talking about you on the guest list and you don't even know the person on the name party is. The bouncer's gonna be looking at you like, okay, there's two parties going on here. We got one upstairs and we got one downstairs. Which one you for? Well, I came to see my homeboy. What's his name? Jehovah. Well, that ain't his name. But that's what he told me. Oh, you mean the guy downstairs? Okay, yeah, we got you right downstairs. That's where you'll be going. Downstairs. You're not going to get into the Most High's wedding without knowing his name and keeping his commandments and being baptized. Being baptized means you have to be fully submerged in water, like Christ. Anybody sprinkle no water on Christ's face and say, bless you, son, you're baptized. Sorry. You need to be fully submerged in order to see the kingdom of heaven. Excuse me, the kingdom of the Most High. That's the only way. So you got people running around here talking about praise the God of ruin, praise the God of mischief, praise the God of the profane thing and naughtiness. That's what they're talking about. That's what they're talking about. Let's continue on in their publication.